Hello and welcome to the METAcast, episode 1 of the METAcast. This is the podcast for METAgames, our YouTube channel. Mine, yours, everyone's. I'm Michael. Joining me this week, whenever we do one of these, is David.
Hey.
Alistair.
Hi.
And Connor.
Hello.
Yeah.
We're not players.
No, we're not players this time.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Connor's always a player.
Yeah.
Just not in the video games.
No. With ladies.
Woo!
No,
I thought maybe like actors, like, let us meet our players.
The METAgames players. Yeah, okay.
Good stuff. All right. Yeah, so the channel, I thought I'd start by saying, this is our first podcast.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching and checking out the channel. If you didn't get the videos and what the fuck they're about, then too bad. No. So
It's not much to get, really. It's video games.
No, not really. It's
Games.
games.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of friends just sitting around enjoying games together.
We're pioneering a genre. That's what they call Let's Plays.
Yeah. Don't know if anyone's heard of those before.
No.
Hey, these aren't Let's Plays, man.
These ain't your granddaddy's Let's Plays.
They're meta plays.
They've got their own rules.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Should
Should this podcast have its own rules?
Actually, that's a point.
We make
if
the
it's a
rules.
metacast,
It's a metacast.
what's the
meta
rules of the
about?
podcast?
Or we're talking about we can discuss podcasting.
Okay, every time we say meta, you have to slap yourself in the face with a fish. The listeners, I mean.
A
Not
fresh fish.
a fresh fish.
You can't reuse that fish.
No, yeah, you have to. So you're going to need a lot of fish.
It has to be fresh each time you
Yeah.
say that word that means discussing what we're discussing.
What's this going on, by the way? Is you going to put this on like SoundCloud?
Just
or?
chucking up on YouTube to start with, and I'll probably get some
nice.
SoundCloud going.
What am I
like
looking at on screen on this podcast? Is it my player faces?
Just a background. Just a purple background.
Oh, wow.
Put up images of if we talk about a specific topic. Just put up a nice image of that.
Yeah, might do that.
Have a just have a video of you like combing your hair and your beard, grooming.
That would be an interesting way to present like silent short films. As like the sponsors of this week's podcast, we have shaving with Gillette, whatever.
Yeah.
And here I am doing my hair with this fantastic
Gillette.
product.
Look how
Mr.
pretty
Gillette, if you're listening,
Yeah.
just contact us. Just tweet us.
Yeah.
And you can get that sweet.
We will advertise the Mark
advertisement.
III. Mac 3? I don't know.
That is like a 10-year-old razor.
Is it?
It's
I don't know.
all about the whatever that.
I'm heavily bearded. I
the
clearly have
Powerball
no
thing.
idea what a razor is.
It's like a Dyson vacuum in a razor.
Yeah,
Merge the technologies.
yeah.
Is that a
Wasn't
thing?
that was
Or are you
like-
just making that up?
No,
Because that
it's
sounds amazing. I love Dyson. That man is ingenious.
It's a fusion razor with a little ball in it, so the razor head
It's got a
tilts
little
and stuff.
swivel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you said it was a vacuum mixed with a razor, that's in Wayne's World. That's what the crazy guy in Wayne's World does at the start, and he like sucks on Garth's head, not what with a vacuum, and Garth's like, what does he say? He's sucking out my will to live. That's a good movie.
I can't remember that bit. But yeah.
So that
Open
could have been
credits.
an ad for Gillette,
Yeah,
sucking out will to live.
yeah. There you go.
Unfortunately, we've not been paid to talk about Gillette.
Yet.
That's the dream.
what you should do
What have
then
we
is
been
go
paid
back
to
in
talk
and
about?
dub over Gillette,
Yeah,
including when I just said that then.
yeah.
With your ad here, your product here.
Works on all levels.
What have we been paid to talk about?
Nothing.
Metagames.
Metagames. Yeah. So
Sponsored Meta Podcast, sponsored by Metagames.
yeah, we're sponsoring ourselves. It's this cool new thing called Patreon, and I pay my own money into the Patreon account, and so then it looks
You
like
get access to your own
Yeah.
feed of.
I get access to my videos before everybody else does. That's why
You
I
keep sending
subscribe to
yourself hate
Patreon.
mail.
Yeah.
Would that be anti-ethical to actually pay into your own Patreon so the amount that you get per video looks decent to other people coming along? They're like, oh, he's already getting like $50 a video, $100 a video.
I don't know.
He's like clearly worth it.
There might be something in the terms and conditions. You can fact that check on your phone right now as I'm speaking.
Sure, you can't just put money into your own Patreon.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, so we
You can. Should you?
speaking of meta, so we focus on metagaming. So in a meta play, it's a normal 4-player like let's play, but we make up our own rules as a little meta game to play, and we compete against it. each other, and we keep that scoreboard tally, and then we also do like the hard plays as that meta achievement of beating it on the hardest difficulty.
You've got like 2 other plays on there, don't you? That you haven't done yet.
Yeah, we've got a few on there that's sort of Easter egged into the intro that we haven't actually recorded yet.
Right on. You're not going to explain those yet?
No, I could. Drunk play. That's one of them.
Self-explanatory, really.
So just get drunk.
I don't know if it is self-explanatory. How many people are involved in a drunk play? Is it one person?
How
Is it
drunk do
any
you have
number
to
of
be?
people?
Are we getting drunk as we're playing, or are we
3 or
drunk?
4, probably.
Are we breathalyzing? Is it like, oh, well, you're drunk when you're over 0.2? Like, how are we judging?
I think.
And like, do we have to get drunk and then play, or are we like
I
drinking?
think
as
we'd
we
have
play?
like pre
Pre-drinks.
let's play bevs and
Okay.
then drink.
So we're all
Well,
buzzed by the time we
got
start.
a little bit of a buzz.
hurling abuse at each other.
Yeah, and then
Have you seen that film, Set an Island, where there's like these things trying to eat you, aliens, and you have to be drunk to defend yourself against them? And they work out you need to be over 0.2% blood alcohol
That's
rating.
amazing.
That's a film.
It's a film.
Sure,
sounds awesome.
it's not a dream that you had?
It was a great dream. No, it was a film. It was honestly a film that I have seen where
Yeah,
you need to be
you
drunk
had-
to defend yourself from the aliens.
That'd be amazing
Well,
if you had a dream that your alcoholism
fact-check
saved
the-
the world.
Fact check that's not a dream that you
Check
had.
that title. Give us that title. Yeah, so drunk plays. Yeah, self-explanatory. We
Yeah.
get drunk. We like make up drinking games.
Yeah.
The
and
Mario
computers.
Kart one is
Yeah.
something we want to try out.
Yeah, so that's been around on the internet for a while now. The Mario Kart drinking game, and you've got to finish your beer or drink or whatever it is bottle before you get onto the last lap of the course.
Mhm.
But the thing is that drinking and driving isn't cool. It's not okay.
No.
So whenever you want to drink, you have to pull over to the side of the road and stop your
that's
car.
cool.
And then it's just like, well, there's
Yeah, do you
all
wait
sorts of
until, like-
strategy.
Yeah.
Do you scull at the start? Do
Yeah.
you get to your last lap just before that and
That's
scull it
interesting.
there, or do you intermittently?
That's cool.
There's a lot of range for self-exploration as well, because if you're like, oh, my liver can handle this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do shots at the start, and tell you what, by the end I'll be screwed, but I'll have gone across the finish line sober as a daisy.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way, the film is real.
Okay.
It's called Grabbers. It's from 2012.
Grabbers. 2012.
Okay. I think I remember seeing that in Blockbuster, just like floating around somewhere on the shelves.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I have to watch that.
I imagine you'd neither watch it sober or like you would not be able to watch it sober.
Yeah.
You'd have to get drunk or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Hit your head against the wall really hard a few times.
Like you do when you watch any movie.
Yeah.
Just good old bash in the head.
Yeah.
I
I went
the
into
next
12 years a slave, just hitting my head on the wall.
Ooh, took it to a
And I was
dark
drunk.
place.
Yeah. Connor's trying to take it to a race place. I won't let him. Next topic.
Well, the next one on the list is Q and Play, which is it's
Yeah.
a twist on Q and A. But
Yeah.
so we probably won't record any of those until we actually get questions to
Yep,
answer. So
that's
that's
fair
like
enough.
we'll just play a game and answer some Twitter questions or
Yeah, sweet.
questions and comments. But as of yet, there ain't no questions.
That's
to
cool.
be
That kind of
answered.
leads into my question to
Yo.
you, Michael.
Yeah,
How's
go for
the like? This has been going from. You've been uploading these videos for a month now. How's it?
Yeah.
How's the reaction, the response been so far?
All right. It's very early days.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
you
It's
know,
only been like what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
yeah.
have
3
you
or 4
have you
weeks.
had abuse hurled at you?
No.
No, we've had 0 comments.
How like what's your how many subscribers are you at the moment? Because I subscribed.
Like 7 or something.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, I think it's
I believe
basically.
I'm probably one of those.
I think like it's just basically the people that have actually been in the
Yeah,
Let's
that's
Plays
fair
that
enough.
have
hey,
subscribed.
that's more than something
I've shared
people
a
can
couple,
say.
so
Yeah.
I'm trying.
And no comments. You know what they say? No feedback is good feedback.
Good feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. In terms of likes,
That's a saying, right?
we have like 100% likes and 0% dislikes. So
Fuck yeah.
you love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Awesome.
Focus
Yeah.
on the positive statistics.
Yes.
Are
It is
you like?
positive stuff.
Are you? Where are you posting this shit? Are you trying to? Are you just kind of putting them up and being like, whoever watches them, or are you like trying to find?
Kind of.
An audience.
Some of them. So some of the games that are PC games
Yep.
on like Steam and stuff like that, I thought
Yep.
like an idea is to go into the community hub.
Yeah.
And just like post the video there and be like, hey guys, like, you guys like Screen Sheet? I like Screen Sheet. We played this mode.
Yeah,
or
that's
like
a good idea.
Towerfall. We put in these custom rules.
Mhm.
Does anybody else like bomb arrows? And then like, so then it's like, yeah, the people that are like hardcore fans of that game on Steam that are going there and
Yeah. that's
discussing stuff there might see that and
Mhm.
get sort of drawn over to the channel.
Right on.
To a certain extent, is the idea to get a bit of a backlog of content up as well before pushing too hard, so that it's like, oh,
yeah, true. You
look,
don't
this
want to be like,
guy's
check out this channel, and you got like
one video.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, you got like 3, but
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
At this point, you've got a fair few up.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah, but no,
But that's the idea that it's like, I sort of designed like everything I'm doing around what I like when I'm like YouTubing stuff.
Mhm.
So if I like find a channel of whether it's Let's Plays or just some comedy sketches or something, I like see a video and I'm like, oh, that was really funny. Check out their channel, look at like what their uploads are like. And if they're uploading a video like every week, I'm like, oh, cool. And I check more
that's
of them
worth
out.
subscribing to.
And then I
stuff.
subscribe to it and
Yeah.
then I'm like watching their videos every week.
Yeah.
If I go, this guy did a hilarious video, and then look at his channel and he's got like 7 videos in the past like 7 years. I'm like, well, I'm not going to subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to sort of like create content that was stuff that I know that I would want to watch if I came across it on YouTube, and sort of had that.
it would
That
make you
backlog.
subscribe.
Yeah, have the backlog, but also the like the regularness of like meta plays go up on Tuesday, hard plays go up on Fridays.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
The metacast will go up on Saturdays. And so then it's like I think 2 videos a week is a pretty good amount if you keep that going like that. So then like down the track, like could be long time, but like a year, say some person comes across it and then he's like, oh, there's like 50 videos here, and he's constantly uploading, doing that, and so then that's when sort of like would expect that random people would start coming across it and be like, oh, cool, I'll have a look at this.
Yeah, right on. Cool.
Compared to just like the friends of like we've got the Facebook page that's facebook.com/metagames.au, and I post up on that as well whenever the videos are out and stuff, but that's also only getting to like my friends or your friends.
Yeah, friends of friends
when
and
you,
stuff.
Yeah, so it's friends of friends to
right
show
on.
that support.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a long road to that YouTube money.
That's right. Sweet YouTube money.
All that YouTube
Cool.
money.
It's a unicorn, man.
But yeah, speaking of community, like we
TV
haven't had crazy negative. Sorry.
It's the TV show.
Yeah, that
Speaking of
one.
Community. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a good segue.
Guest this week
but
is
no.
Dan
I'm
Harmon.
talking about the community of the channel that we want to sort of create.
Yeah.
So we have fun playing the video games with each other and smack talking each other, but it's all in good fun. It's not like mean or anything. So that's what we would hope from the community that we want to sort of create for the channel, is that everyone's nice. No, don't discriminate people against like gender, race, religion, all that sort of stuff. Just like leave that like to somebody else's YouTube channel.
There's plenty of other
that I don't
pricks
have to
doing that already.
moderate and like delete comments and block
Yeah.
people and stuff. Like if you don't like a video, that's cool. Like give us some what do you call it?
Constructive feedback.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah.
That stuff's good. That's like, oh, I thought this.
Yeah.
That's a good opinion, not just like, oh, this is fucking gay.
Yeah.
If you
You
ever
guys suck.
If you ever get a YouTube channel or a video that hasn't got a ton of views, the comments in it are always so much nicer than a real big popular channel or a real big popular video.
Because that's like a wormhole in a popular video. It just goes off topic and people start getting into arguments about stuff that the video wasn't even about. And it's just like, just be
I feel
nice to
like
each
that's
other.
got better since they did the whole the mistake of the Google Plus thing. But like they changed the way the comments work, and they're all like voted and shit. And then the scene,
It's kind of
you
difficult
don't
'cause
see the bad ones.
Then they're just not in chronological order, so it's harder to have an argument.
I don't scroll like down beyond the descriptions of YouTube videos. I can't be.
It's
fucking looking at
best.
topics.
Best.
Sorry, topics. To comments.
Yeah,
Like
I've done it a couple of times, or like articles on like IGN, and I'm like, what do people say? And then it's just like, nope, just go back up to the actual article.
Even
don't
the
listen to
people
that stuff.
who type like really like these essays, these fucking diatribes that aren't full of like racial epithets and slurs. I still kind of think, what are you doing?
Who got so
Fucking
excited on the
YouTube.
internet
Yeah.
today that they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? It's not Reddit. It's not
Yeah.
about having a discussion. It's a comment section.
Who gives a shit? Why
I
do you
like it
care
when
that
it's not
much?
loaded by default, where you like scroll down the bottom, you're like, oh, where are the comments? And then you see the little discus thing. You're like, oh, it's going to load now. That was a mistake. I'm just going to close the tab.
What have I done?
My favorite Chrome extension is called Herp Derp, and it just replaces every YouTube comment with the words Herp Derp, Herp Derp, Herp Derp, Herp Derp.
That is a quality extension.
But yeah, so if you want to be a part of our little crew of guys, and come along, watch the videos, comment, suggest like other games for us to play.
Yeah.
If you don't like the videos, that's okay. Just don't watch us. Just leave us alone.
Subscribe though, and just
slows
never look at
into
the
it.
channel again. Just hit subscribe.
If you're gonna talk shit, like I don't know, try not to bring race or
race, gender, equality or inequality,
any
or
of that
Tony
stuff
Abbott into the discussion.
Like, call me a shit-taste pleb or something kind of harmless like that.
Well, kind of the point I was trying to make is there's no real point to shit talk.
No, there's absolutely
Us.
point. Don't shit talk us. Shit talk other people.
No,
but
don't shit talk
shit
other
talk
people.
other
Sorry,
people
yeah, no,
either.
There's no need to
other
shit
people.
talk anyone.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, of course
Except
not.
maybe,
What if it's really
maybe
funny
Tony
though?
Abbott.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If he comes up in conversation like during that video, then it's relevant.
Oh no, if he's just lost like all of the conservative YouTubers.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Sean McAuliffe? There's like a clip of one of the Sean McAuliffe shows, and there's a woman talking about like how it's never acceptable to make a joke about race or this or that or anything. And he's like, right, yeah. What if it's really funny? I'm thinking, he's got a point.
Yeah, no, totally. Like I really like Louis C.K. and I watch a lot of his stuff, and he is like the definition of like that. If you're making jokes, everything's on the table to make fun of, or nothing is.
Yeah.
Like you can't
But like
draw
calling
the
someone
line
like
somewhere.
just and feel free to bleep this, but calling someone a faggot on YouTube isn't like that's not
No.
not comedy. That's
No, that's
like
not
just
comedy.
being a dick. So
No,
like,
exactly.
That's misapplication
there
of the
is
term for wood.
yeah.
Yeah, there is.
And I will not have you shit talking wood on my YouTube channel.
It is a solid form of combustible, damn it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Louis C.K. can do that because he, that he's a good guy. Like he builds his sort of routines around like he is a kind person. He does have like good morals. He takes care of his like daughters really well. So then he can say these things because they're just in good jest. You can't be like a young stand-up comedian and be like, I saw Louis C.K. do it, I'm going to do this, and just like come out like day one and start doing that sort of shit because then people are just like, you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that could totally work for infamy. Like you could become an infamous comedian.
I feel like chasing like that kind of, I don't know, shock laughter isn't as like.
Have you been watching the Yahoo Community series, like the latest one?
No,
I was gonna. Yeah, I have been watching that, and yeah, there is a really racist comedian in one of the episodes where they get like blackmailed to like to cancel his event. Otherwise, like they'll leak the contents of like the school's emails and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's like a ridiculously racist.
But not with that, to resolve the problem that they wanted to have him as a character. They're like, oh, what are we going to do? He's not funny.
Ah, okay.
The jokes are incredibly just, they're racist in the plainest way.
Yeah.
And hence not funny. And they're like, hey, so then he's funny because he's not funny.
Also, can you remember what the guy's name is?
It's something Gupti Gupta.
Yeah, it's something like Gupti Gupta, and you think like that sounds like really racist, but then it's like, oh no, well he's actually an Indian bloke, and he's not making racist jokes of that sort of like thing. He's making like just really shitty racist jokes about Jewish people or and stuff. So it's sort of like you thought it was going one way, but they're like, no, let's make fun of this different.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
They subverted the shit out of that.
That's cool. Have you guys like speaking of like comedians and stuff who are kind of like, whoa, edgy, and some people don't like it? Jim Jeffries.
Yep.
He
Australian.
Like recently, Australian dude. One of his like a chunk of one of his specials where he talks about gun control in the US was like getting sent around a lot recently, and it's an old bit. Like it's from a few years ago, I think at least. It's from like a Netflix special, so I think that's why it kind of got sent around, because like we got Netflix and people must have seen it and been like, wow, this is hilarious, and started blogging it and stuff. Yeah. And then he was at the Melbourne Comedy Festival recently, and I think like that video where he's like doing jokes about gun control, and it's a really funny bit and it's really clever and good, well written and stuff. He's got some other bits of his that are just kind of just him being kind of boorish and crass and just for the sake of being crass, or because he knows that it's going to make people laugh in that way, that's like, oh fuck, that's a bit much, careful, but like it's still kind of funny. But he was like making I think that video doing the rounds and getting seen by people who ordinarily wouldn't see his work and wouldn't want to watch his work because it's kind of crass and stuff, have gone out and seen him at the Melbourne Comedy Festival where he's made like rape jokes and stuff. And then there's all these people up in arms and saying like, I thought he was going to be clever and funny and witty and urbane and all this, but he's just a brute. And it's like,
But he's more popular in other countries than he is here.
yeah.
He's like an Australian comedian for Americans.
Yeah, well,
Because they're like, oh my God, he's oh wow, he's so direct and
Well, that seems to ring true. If it's like he's an Australian comedian who's had his comedy special on Netflix, and like in America, but in Australia we haven't seen it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it
only
seems like
coming
only
around
recently
now.
people are like, this Jim Jeffries guy's hilarious. He's ours. Oh yeah, we'll have him.
We'll have him.
We'll claim that.
That's what I find. That's what we do as Australians. We claim people.
only once they're popular elsewhere. But it's because it's impossible to become popular in Australia because we hate everyone.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna
It's
say,
like, oh my, are you successful? What the fuck?
Yeah, there's this attitude of like, oh, what makes you so fucking special? Until the Americans are like, wow, this guy's great. And they're like, yeah, no, he's great. We fucking love that guy. He's
ours, you know.
Yeah, we did that. Fuck. Like,
Actually, he was born in Christchurch. No, he wasn't.
no.
Yeah, well, that's always like the Russell Crowe. We're always like, no, he's an Aussie. He's an Aussie. Even though they're like, no, he's actually
Until he
New Zealander.
throws a phone.
And then he throws a phone, and we're like, no, New Zealand, you can have him back. We're done with gloating about him.
Yeah.
And then, was it Mel Gibson as well? Like, I think like he was maybe born in the UK or something.
I don't know.
There's some way we got
he's
away with him not being us.
He's lived in Australia his
We
whole
managed
life.
to
But
disown him somehow.
We figured out a way.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Catholic. It's fine. He's not Australian.
Disowned.
Technicality.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I
that
feel
Hugh
like
Jackman guy, he's just 100% Australian.
Yeah.
But like 100%, we can claim him, and he never
Yeah,
does anything
exactly.
wrong, so it's okay.
until he does something horrible.
And then we're like, shit, we can't do anything.
yeah.
Well, no, but like, say Thor. If Thor does something wrong, I've forgotten the actor's name.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. He's from Phillip Island. That's like not. It's not really part of Australia. It's just you can get there.
You get there from Australia, but
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Like, it's off the coast.
You'd have to come to Australia.
It's like, you come to Australia to get to New Zealand. That doesn't make New Zealand Australia. It's the same with Phillip Island.
Jesus Christ,
That's a good one.
That's just what I think about this.
You're
Jim
welcome,
Jeffries
Australia.
thing. Yeah.
Archive
Your
that.
house.
It feels like people who saw that, like the gun control bit, were like, wow, he's Australian, he's great, and then went out to see him and they're like, oh, I don't want that, get away from me.
Oh, no, you tricked me.
The same thing happened with Tracy Morgan. People loved him on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And he came to Australia and did shows, and they went to see shows, and he was just really sexist and shit. And people walked out in his shows and stuff.
Yeah, I think I read an article where a woman was like, I walked out.
Yeah.
I was incensed. And it's kind of like, man, like, I mean, I don't know what the jokes he was making were.
Yeah.
You'd have to hear them. Because, like, I mean, it's that thing where, like, either everything's funny or nothing is. So it might, like, give
you have
context.
to make
it might
the
have
joke
been a funny. Well, it might
to
have
begin
been.
with.
It might have been a funny joke, but the subject was rape or whatever, and some people just don't want to hear that shit. So, like, I don't know. It's a touchy kind of.
It's the awareness of the comedian. Like, you go and see someone, and
like,
if you
I think
know
that's
that
where
they're
if I
going to do
hear-
that,
Yeah, if I hear certain comedians making jokes about race or religion or I guess rape, and I know that they're not a bad person, or you know enough about the person, like you've seen enough of their stuff or seen them interviewed to know that they're not scumbags and they're not advocating sexual abuse or some shit.
It's a joke.
Yeah, he's making a joke. You're not supposed to laugh like at people at this awful thing that happens. You're supposed to laugh at how fucking awful and absurd it is, and
like Jimmy Carr,
Yeah.
who is a creepy looking guy who makes creepy jokes,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like the appeal.
Yeah. I was watching, there's this female comedian on YouTube, what's her fucking name? I can't remember. But she does a lot of music video things. She had a song called Fuck Me Ray Bradbury that was really popular. It doesn't matter.
Fact check.
Yeah. She's really funny, and she did a song called The OCD Dance, and I thought it was hilarious. And I sent it to my girlfriend, and she was like, oh, this is really funny. And then she was like, oh man, I kind of feel bad. Like this is kind of making fun of OCD, and apparently OCD is kind of sucky to live with. I'm just reading some of the comments, and I was kind of like, I think like I've watched enough of this person's material and seen enough like interviews with her to know that she's not just going for shock laughs or like trying to marginalize a sick group of people. Like she probably, like I would bet my left nut that this woman has either had OCD or dealt with someone close to her having OCD, and she's making this video to like make light of how awful it is and kind of and give people with that the opportunity to laugh at their own shit to kind of be like, oh man, fuck, if I had a nickel for every time I suddenly thought I had AIDS, like that's one of the lines in there. But like, yeah, I don't know. And then my girlfriend was like, yeah, maybe you're right, and then ended up like finding an interview with her where she said like, yeah, I did this because I had OCD and like as a kid it was fucking horrible.
And you were like, yes, I get to keep my left nut.
I was just like, I know. First of all, I get to keep my left nut, and I fucking know comedy.
Fact checking in. Her name is Rachel Bloom.
Rachel Bloom, that's it. She's very funny.
Cheers, Mr. Fact Checker. Good job. So,
can I have a sound effect?
No.
When I come in for a fact check?
Fuck off. No, piss off. We don't have it in the budget. Talk to Gillette.
Mr. Gillette.
Mr. Gillette.
They give you one sound effect and it's a razor sound effect.
Or is it like no, it wouldn't be electric. Shink.
Yeah, like a shink. Yeah, that would be cool as you'd be like, her name was Rachel whatever. Shink.
And here we have David with the Gillette fact check.
Oh yeah, put it in the name.
Fact check of the day.
Yeah, you got your own segment on the podcast now. We leave that to last. We say a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, and at the very end, David comes in with the fact check.
He's like,
chink, chink, chink.
Yeah, it was all bullshit.
He's like, at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, you guys said that Ronald McDonald and this.
That's not true.
Bullshit.
That was absolutely made up.
Yeah. So checking in with the scoreboard.
Do it.
Whoa. 4 weeks in. I don't know how many meta plays that is. That's like 6 meta plays, I think. So in first place, we have Alistair. 3 wins, 3 losses.
Yes.
So that's just broke even.
Your KDR's what? 0?
One. Wait, is it 0? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I haven't started doing KDRs.
Oh no, just
You
for
don't have to.
just for the wins and losses. Yeah.
I thought about it, but
No, that would be too much pain going through all
it
the
takes
videos.
so much time. In second place is moi. I've got 2 wins, 4 losses.
You really got to push that. You really need to be in first place. It is your channel.
I'm in first, like it's me and Alistair going back and forwards.
Doesn't sound like it. He's got 1 less loss and 1
Third
more
place,
win.
Connor.
Sup?
1 win, 1 loss. Woo! Same KDR as Alistair.
Mm-hmm. So I'm equally as good.
Yes. And then in fourth place, we
That's how it
have
works.
David.
Hey, that's right. I'm not even last.
0 wins, 3 losses.
I'm pretty content with that.
Yeah. I thought that worked out nicely considering that it's the 4 of us that are on this first episode.
Top of the leaderboards, baby. Whoop.
Yep. And we're also the first 4. You guys are the first guys that I got to join in on the channel. And that is the only reason why David is in 4th place. Because in 5th place, Johnny, 0 wins, 3 losses. Exactly the same as David. But David just takes priority because
He showed up first.
he's 1 rank
Fair
up
enough.
above.
Also alphabetical. I mean,
Yeah. And then Shaylee in 6th place with 0 wins, 4 losses.
I'm pretty set on remaining in my position above Johnny, so I'm gonna have to really bring the pain next.
You're pretty set on doing that? Yeah, well,
I feel like when
spoiler alert for next episode, that might change.
I'm gonna fall,
Uh-oh.
David's fall from grace.
he's never on the
right.
podcast again after that day.
Tune in on
I was in
Tuesday.
4th place. I had the world in my hands.
Like, the video already had a title. Well, let's just change it to David's Fall from Grace.
Which is a great title.
So, yeah.
Right
Good
on.
stuff.
What do you got next?
We'll check back in with in another month with those scoreboards. Woo! You guys been playing many video games?
In the last week, no, because I've been busy as hell. But before that, I've been playing Shadow of Mordor, baby.
I've been seeing you like that pop up on Steam.
Yeah,
all the
it's
time.
good fun. It's really nice.
That you're
Like,
playing it.
it took me ages to finally pick it up because I was waiting for it to go on special, and then it was shit. I think I got it for like $16 on like just a CD key website.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, it's really good fun. Like, world's really nice. I'm not running it at I can run it at the full specs, but the frame rate tends to chug a bit, so I just got running it about like medium settings, and it still looks really nice. The game is really well like optimized and a lot of fun. Killing orcs is awesome. It's pretty much the combat from Arkham Asylum and City and stuff,
that's what I've heard.
but like kind of more satisfying because of the gore factor. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got
Yeah,
that.
Batman,
It's got
just,
that like.
like, he punches a dude out and they're like lying on the ground, like clutching their head, and it's
exactly.
not as good as like decapitating an orc.
Exactly, and like when you decapitate an orc, you can like swing the camera around and see like the stump and stuff spurting blood. It feels kind of like they've taken the Arkham City combat system and injected a bit of Mortal Kombat flair to it, and it's a lot of fun.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, no, I haven't been playing that.
That looks awesome.
It looks like fun.
It exists and it does look good.
It sort of sold me when I realized that Kenshin was in the roster. Not Kenshin, Kenshi.
Which one's that?
He is the blind.
Ah, yeah.
Like sword saint, sword master. I'm a big fan of Kenshi.
Do they have weapons in this one? Because I remember for like 2 of the PS2 titles, Deception and Deadly Alliance.
I think it was since Mortal Kombat
like,
4, you had a weapon that you could equip.
Yeah, you had swords and shit.
So I'm not 100% sure how it works.
I think they took it out of 9.
I think it might change it depending on the character. Okay. It might just be that like certain combos you use weapons for, or it might be because every character has like 3.
I was about to say
2 or 3 different styles.
Yeah.
And I know that like one style of Kenshi was like all sword, and they're all based on he's like Deadly Alliance combos, which I was like,
that's cool.
That's fucking sweet because that's the one that I played lots where I liked Kenshi, so that's sort of what I'm interested in.
That's cool.
Also, his fatality is pretty cool. He like spins his katana in midair, and then he like telekinesis pulls the person up and pulls them through it, and their head gets like chopped up.
That's so
like
cool.
Into just like 6 pieces, cross-sectioned in slow motion, and it's like that's fucking ridiculous.
I watched like half an hour of like IGN was like, hey, look at all these fatalities and shit, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was
like half an hour
video, yet, and it's just like every fatality.
By the end of it, like I was like, yeah, this is awesome. By the end of it, I felt a bit sick. I was like, this is really
they really push the limits of
bumped it up a lot. Yeah, like.
Is it allowed in Australia as is?
Yes. It has not been censored.
Did not get banned.
Violence tends to get through now with our R18 rating. It's just the drugs and sexual references that'll get a game banned.
Which is ridiculous.
I was about to say, just goes to show how fucking ridiculous our like rating system is for video games.
It's really fucking ridiculous that there's like the Hotline Miami 2 got banned because of the implied sexual violence.
It's a top down.
It was like in a cutscene or something like that, but it's all like 8-bitty and stuff like that. I haven't actually watched it, but apparently it's like
I've seen it.
The dude. So
the thing is though,
is it what I think it is?
It's very, very brief and very minimal, and it's just this little. It's at the very start of the game, and you can turn it off if you want. It says at the start, and it's on the movie set of the start of the game, and you just go around and shoot a few enemies. And then get to the girl and knock her over, and then the little character jumps on top of her, and then as soon as that happens, the director says cut, and then you realise it's a movie scene or whatever. And the problem was the Australian classification, the way they described that scene was, I thought, really, really worse than what the scene actually was. Their description of the scene was, if you read that alone and didn't see the scene, you'd think it'd be pretty shocking.
Yeah, that's what I read. So I'd say that's kind of bullshit because like it's in the laws of the games that it's like there can't be on-screen sexual violence in a video game because that'll get it banned. Although you watch like 50 Shades of Grey and it's like, oh yes, that guy rapes her at one point.
And that's what that's
like an
rated.
MA movie, but it's like we're not going to ban that because it's a movie and also it's going to make us lots of money.
I don't know what they're thinking. Like they've implemented the same rating system as they do for movies for video games, but they're not treating them like equal art forms. Like they still think that even though they have a fucking R rating for video games, which is designed for people over 18, for fucking adults, they still seem to think that the only people playing video games are kids.
Yeah. The Helen Lovejoy wants somebody please think of the children.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's infuriating.
But they're going, it's sex. Like if you're in control of sex and you're raping someone in a game, then that clearly means you're going to do that in real life. But don't worry, you're not going to do that with like chopping people up.
Yeah, exactly. And what fucking irritates me is like they think so little of like their fellow man that they think that like they're gonna anyone who plays this game is gonna be a fucking rapist. Like
but also like the people make the argument that it's like, oh no, it's different in video games because you're like controlling it in the video game compared to a movie, and it's like not really, because sometimes it is like it's a cutscene thing where you don't actually have control, and like when it comes to video game cutscenes, it's like just the same as a movie.
Exactly. And I
But
have
also, like, that's not, like, true. It's not like, oh, yeah, I can watch Rambo and I can watch Rambo kill a whole bunch of people and enjoy it. But if I kill a bunch of people in GTA, that's going to make me a potential murderer.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. And with, like, the sexual violence thing, I've yet to play a game where there's a fucking rape QuickTime event or something awful like that. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I'm sure there's a Japanese RPG with that.
No, it's because QuickTime events went out of fashion, so I don't think you'll ever see that.
Okay.
You might get like a little bit of like the shake the stick kind of QuickTime, but no more of like tap
there's
X, tap A.
There's a Wii
tap
Motion
Y.
Plus game where you molest kids. No, fuck off.
Keep the terror meter between these two scores. Don't scare them too much or let them calm down.
We took this to a
David.
very dark place. This is the first episode.
You turned up the molesting to 11 just then. God damn it.
I didn't introduce the topic. I was merely
No, I think I
elucidating
wanted
it.
I don't
Yes.
think even Nintendo could make that adorable.
It's a Kirby game.
Yeah.
Mario's doing it.
Oh, I believe it's a Kirby game.
He's like, don't worry, it's a me. Oh my god, I feel dirty.
Thanks for taking the heat there, man. Whew.
Yeah. Alistair, you and I, we've been playing some GTA 5
Online heists.
online heists.
Or trying to.
Trying
how are
to
they?
finish those heists.
I still haven't. I want to get back into GTA 5 online, and I just haven't gotten around to
They're
it. How is it?
pretty good for free content.
Right.
But it did take a while to come out, and there
Something
was-
like 18 months?
yeah, very long time. But I think they're really fun when they work. Is the thing.
What do you mean when they work? Like,
Just-
what aspect doesn't work for you?
Just trying to connect to
Oh, so
four other people.
Right,
It's just,
okay.
You think it'd be easy, but it just disconnects and.
Is it
Yeah.
implement? Is it part of the online? Just like part of
Yeah.
online, or is it
Yeah,
just
just part of
separate thing?
online.
No, it is
okay.
part of online.
Okay.
It could be partially because of our internet, is why we're having problems connecting, but it's like we don't have problems connecting to other games and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
So
it
I
does
mean,
seem to
GTA
be-
Online's always had a slightly touchy
Yeah.
internet thing.
So like we've been like contact the other two guys. We've got 4 people together to do the heist because it's only 4 player.
Mhm.
And we spent like 2 hours trying to get into the game to start the mission with each other. So when we actually are playing the heist, it's awesome fun.
Yeah,
That's cool.
fun.
How long does it take to do a heist once you're in?
So you've got depending on the heist, you've got a bunch of setup missions that you do first. So you can have like 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 setup missions for a heist.
That you do with all four
With
players?
all 4 people. Some of them you're just like in a group of 4, or some of them split you up and you go like, oh, A team, you 2 have to go take out this guy, while the B team, those 2 guys go on motorbikes and go over and like fuck up these people.
Nice.
And like one of you have to do it stealth, and one of them's more of a like just like a blow shit up one, and
That's
it's cool, and it gives it a lot of variety that you can like replay it doing the different role, and then it's very different. It's like the actual heist section of the first heist, which is a prison break where you're breaking someone out of prison. You've in the setups you've hijacked a prison bus. So then when you are actually, because you've got to try and get one of the guys into the prison to get this guy out. So 2 of you go into the prison, one dressed up as a prisoner, one dressed up as a guard. And then one of the other guys has to take out like the prison bus that's actually scheduled to arrive at that prison.
Oh, cool.
So he takes it out, like drives it off somewhere and blows it up to destroy the evidence so that the 2 prison buses don't show up. And then we show up with our hijacked one. So it's like it's splits it up into, there's the group of 2 that go into the prison, and then there's like the other 2 jobs are like 2 separate ones. So there's like 3 possible sort of things that you can play in that final heist that you can redo it as.
That's cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we managed to finish the final heist, the prison break heist, on the first try, and it was just our last 5 minutes or so was so hectic. I captured a video of it. It's just hilarious. Just trying to organise a spot. I was flying the plane to organise a spot to land, to pick them up, and then you got the helicopter, the demo man flying around, blowing up stuff, trying to help out. It was crazy.
What? Like, how long does each heist go for?
So few hours each.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily a few
That's cool.
hours each. Like depending on like we're having to retry a bunch of missions sometimes because we just like fuck up because we're being stupid, or
Yeah.
sometimes like we've had a couple of glitches where it sort of like screwed up the thing for us, or like someone's dropped out mid session, which is really
Do you
freaking
need
annoying.
4 players to play the
Yes.
mission?
Yeah.
Okay.
you do need 4 players. There's a tutorial heist that you start out with, and that's only a 2-player one, and that goes for like half an hour to an hour, maybe, depending on how slow you do it at. But then there's 4 after that are full heists.
That's cool.
And they take like probably 2 hours minimum. I think I think you'd be struggling to do it in any quicker than that.
That's cool.
But it could take you up to like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I might see if I can get a posse and play that soon.
Yeah, it's good fun. I've been playing some Dark Souls 2. The Scholar of the First Sin came out, which is like the rebalanced one where they changed like almost all of the enemy placements, so like reshuffled where like all the enemies are and stuff. And apparently they made it like a lot harder and stuff, but I'm really enjoying it.
That's cool.
Love Dark Souls.
Right on.
I haven't been playing anything hardcore like that.
I expected that, David. That's okay. You didn't have to bring anything.
I've been playing City Skylines.
That's like a SimCity sort of.
It's like someone went, you know what, SimCity is shit. Let's make a good SimCity. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's cool.
You can have massive cities. You can design all of the public transport. You can like in detail analyze the intersections of your roads and like how many cars there are there. And it's really, really insanely good.
Good fun.
Yeah.
I think the only sim game I've ever gotten into was I had Theme Park World, I think it was. It was like basically like a theme park sim.
Back in the day when there was like 30 different sim games.
Yeah. I got like it was good. It was
Was
like,
that the one you made roller coaster? You can make roller
yeah,
coasters?
you make your
But
own,
not
like,
Roller
make
Coaster
rides.
Tycoon.
No, Sim Theme Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've played that.
That was a lot of fun.
The best thing to do in that game was you'd have a chip stand and you'd sell chips. And what you do, you could control the salt level in the chips.
You put like
So
way
you
too
could
much
make them
salt in.
really salty.
Yeah.
And then right next to the chip stand, you'd put a drink stand.
Yeah.
And so everyone would go and you'd make the drink stand really expensive.
Yeah.
And so everyone would go from the chip stand to the drink stand and then
Yeah.
you'd just make heaps of money that
But
way.
everyone would walk out miserable. Like
Yeah.
everyone would walk out really pissed off.
Yeah.
Or like you'd make all these food stands and stuff, but don't hire any janitors or garbage men or put down any like toiletries and stuff. So like people are just like pissing themselves and leaving rubbish everywhere. It's good fun. Yeah.
Sim games are fantastic.
Yeah, like it was fun. Like it was fun trying to make a really good theme park, and then it was fun just playing God and fucking with everyone. You know.
It's like the movies.
But your
Remember the
idea of
movies?
a really good theme park was to have no toilets in it.
Yeah.
I remember the movies. The movies was good.
Like,
Oh, I never played that.
it's still worth picking up a
I had
copy
a
and
demo.
having a good play
That's
because
cool.
you can make movies in a video game.
Because up until very recently, I didn't have like my own decent PC. I just play on the family laptop, and the laptop like could not fucking run that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I spent like hours and hours just trying to do like one scene that was like classic detective noir where like the lady comes into the office and like the dude in like the fedoras and talks to her and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
yeah.
That's nice. You like scripted that up and shot it in the game.
Yeah, like half the scene, and then I was like, this is really fucking hard.
It was hard to make anything deliberately, but it was still fun.
But it was a lot of fun. Like I didn't try and do the career mode at all. It's just like unlock every set, unlock every costume, give me $1 trillion million infinite dollars worth of budget, because it's like, yeah, if you're actually playing campaign wise, it's like, oh yeah, everything costs money, and then that
You could have made money from one thing.
It would have made it so hard.
Yeah.
I had a one where I was like, I'm going to be Corman Studios, and I made a lot of incredibly, really low budget films, just lots of them. It was a good production set. Made a lot of money that way. And I never made the epic that I planned on though. I was going to like buy the desert set.
I was going to say, like, did they steal your idea with Sharknado and made it into a real movie?
Yeah, that was my idea originally, right? Sharknado 1, 2.
But not 3.
No.
You didn't think of making a third one.
I didn't even think that far.
Couldn't believe. Couldn't comprehend.
Who would even do?
Sharknado.
Who would risk it?
Who would have the balls?
Oh, I forgot to say with Dark Souls 2, good game. Only problem is that when they released for PC, there's been a lot of controversy with the Dark Souls PC releases with the frame rate wise and having to fix the frame rate and the resolution to run properly. So Dark Souls 2 came out and it was like, oh, it works fine. It actually works at like a full HD resolution and 60 frames a second. Only problem is the way the game works is that your weapons degrade over time with use. The way that it judges the weapon degrading is the amount of frames the weapon stays inside of the enemy as you slash them. So if you're playing it at 60 frames a second, weapons degrade twice as fast.
What the hell?
That's such an unfortunate
And you can
side of it.
really notice it. You can really notice it. You're like
that's a pain.
going along and you're like, I'm having a really good run, and then your weapon's going to break, and you're like, I have to go back to a bonfire to repair my weapon. But when I go to sit at the bonfire to repair it, all the enemies get respawned.
And even for the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, they run at 60 frames and they had the same problem as well.
They have the
didn't
problem as
fix
well.
it.
They haven't fixed
It's
it.
like, surely that's just a case of changing one value somewhere.
Yeah, you'd
of
think
like
so.
dividing the frames by half.
Yeah.
They've just announced like this week that they will be patching it, but they haven't given a date, and they haven't explained like how it will be patched. So it's not sure whether they're just going to like buff all the weapons by twice as much, or if they're actually going to fix the problem.
At least they're actually fixing the problem. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad that they did.
Capcom is like still not really fixed Dead Rising 3. It's still kind
Oh,
of.
is it? Is it? Pretty
It's still kind of
buggy?
shitting itself for a lot of people, like myself
Okay.
included. Up until recently, it was just not working for me.
Yeah.
Now it kind of works, but I'm always kind of waiting for it to like my computer
To
to
be
shit
fixed.
itself inside out and have to be restarted.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Because there was this problem in Dark Souls 1 where it's like it wasn't originally supposed to run in 60 frames, and people made like a mod to make it run in 60 frames. But there was something to do with gravity, and the way that gravity was like measured was in frames, so that like if you're running in 60 frames, you fell faster, so you couldn't jump as far. And so there are like specific parts in the game where you need to like jump across this really little.
So you have to
this little
turn the
ledge.
frame rate down to 30 before you do it?
Yeah, pretty much. Because it's already a jump that's like so hard, you gotta like take off all your clothes so that you're like not weighed down to like make the jump properly.
That's so bizarre.
Good design.
Yeah.
Good programming.
No, when you said Capcom, I thought you were going to say like Resident Evil Revelations 2, because people
no, I have
people
not
had
played
some
that.
problems with that, like not running very well at launch.
Oh,
but
dear.
some people are still complaining, but I think that's just people with like really low specs, like
That's just
complaining about
people.
frame rate problems, because it's like, yeah, like
I mean,
there were
yeah.
problems with that game, but they patched them within like the first couple of weeks, and then I've been like, it's just been smooth
Yeah,
as
fair
butter.
Yeah, Capcom for a long time were pretty terrible with PC ports. Like they only recently, I think, got their shit together, like in the last few years.
Yeah, pretty much.
From like, I think Devil May Cry 4 is the oldest game of like the oldest PC port of a Capcom game I can remember working well and not like
yeah.
being really weird.
Capcom ported Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 to PC, but they were fine.
Oh,
They were pretty good, except like they're like 98 and 95 games,
Yeah.
so like the compatibility just doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
Resident Evil 4 was like the start of those bad ports.
yeah.
I bought RE4 on PC when it first came out,
Poor
and
thing.
it is like the PS2 port of it. They didn't port the GameCube one because
That's
at the time, like the GameCube's GPU and stuff like that was so different that a lot of all of those, like all the effects that were in that game to make it look super pretty, like all the lighting and shaders and stuff, that didn't translate over to the PS2 version, because the PS2 version's like like the PS2 doesn't have as good a hardware as the GameCube. But then with the PC version, they're just like, we'll just port the PS2 one because it had all the extra DLC in it.
Yeah.
And that game just ran like a piece of shit and just was awful. It was so bad.
Mm.
And then I bought it on the Xbox when they did the HD version, and then I bought it on the PC again when they finally did the proper HD version.
Yeah. I waited for the PC version of the HD.
But the PC version's really good now.
Yeah, it's excellent.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Even though I've already beaten that game like 19 times.
I didn't end up finishing it on PC. I got up to shit. I'd just beaten the little midget Napoleon.
Yeah.
I
should know his name. I can't remember why. I've
You guys
forgotten
are
his
like
name. That's terrible.
Mr. Kennedy.
Salazar. Ramon Salazar.
yeah, that'd be it. But
Yeah.
I just beat that dude.
Good stuff.
And I've been playing the Bloodborns, and
How is that?
it's great. It's fantastic. So that's all that needs to be said. I'm just gonna
It's great.
It's great.
just Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
It's great.
Everything's named after blood in that game.
Yeah, I think I watched the Zero Punctuation review,
Yeah.
and he said like they've pretty much just taken Dark Souls and put blood on everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what they do with like From Software. Like they did Demon's Souls, which is a stupid name. It's like that's one too many S, S's in your name.
Wasn't it just Demon Soul?
No, it's
No, it's
Demon's
Demon's
Souls.
But everyone says Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's easier.
Because it's stupid. Yeah, and then they made Dark Souls, which everyone's kind of like, oh, it's a sequel, but then it's like, oh no, not really, because it's in a different universe, but it's just got all the same mechanics.
It's just the same game.
Yeah.
It's basically the same game, and then Dark Souls 2 is just like the same game again. And then
They made
Bloodborne is actually like a bit different, but it's still like that same game at its core.
Is there a Demon's Souls too?
No. Demons, Souls, Darks, Souls.
But
Dark
both the
Souls.
Demons and the Bloods, are they platform exclusives?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the PS4 and the PS3 exclusives that never ever came anywhere else.
That's cool.
Which sucks because I would like to really play the Bloodborns, but I don't got a PlayStation.
I think the only other thing I've been playing lately is played a bunch of Rayman Legends. It was on special on Steam. It's fun.
Yeah, it was funny because you got it on special on Steam, and I was like, it was like the same month that it was for free on Xbox One. And I was like, why is that sucker buying Rayman? And I was
I
like,
don't have
oh,
Xbox
wait,
One.
you don't have an Xbox One?
Yeah. Plus, Rayman's great. And it's so much fun.
It is good
The
fun.
only thing that's a bummer with the PC version is it's you can't play online co-op, which ridiculous. That'd be amazing online co-op because it's so much fun with 2 players.
I think maybe did the console versions have online co-op?
I don't know.
I think it might only be couch co-op.
Yeah. Couch co-op's fun because you get to yell at them.
Couch co-op is fun.
You
Well,
just
we're
smack
gonna make
your
a couple of
friends
videos
the
in
head.
that game.
You what?
We're gonna make a couple of videos in that game.
Oh,
so,
shit, yeah. Me,
check it
Guy,
out.
and Chris did a little bit of a let's play of that a while ago. That was really good
I
fun.
remember that. You doing much with the Video Games channel anymore?
No, it's kind of every
Kind
now
of
and then
dead.
if we can be bothered. Like if something comes up that we're like, oh, we want to play this. Like I think Ethan wants to maybe do a bit of streaming with Metal Gear Solid or something at some point.
Oh, yeah, cool. I enjoyed the Resident Evil HD.
Cool.
That was fun to watch.
Like we just
Even though he was terrible at it.
we got to an hour and a half or whatever of recording and we're just like, oh, I can't be bothered editing this. I'm just gonna chuck the whole thing up and whoever wants to watch it can watch it.
Well, that's kind of the concept behind hard plays.
Yeah. It's more or less like a little mini podcast kind of thing that
Yeah,
you can watch.
Because it goes. You're playing a game for so long that you can't just keep talking about the game that you're playing or whatever. There's loads of downtime. Yeah. So you just start talking about other stuff. So it is like a mini podcast.
Yeah.
And
or a massive podcast,
or
not
a
mini.
massive podcast. But yeah, I sort of knew that going into doing the videos that it's like, oh well, the meta plays are the main the main dish that people will watch because they're 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah. It's easy to do, but then not everyone's going to watch an entire playthrough of a game.
Yeah, I've watched some of the hard plays like The Witcher and stuff. You've only been putting the Witcher episodes up so far, right?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
I'm going to start putting up some different stuff soon because The Witcher's a very long one. And you've got 3 acts to that game. So in a couple of weeks we'll be past Act 1, and so then I'm going to take a break from The Witcher. Then we'll put up one of our shorter ones.
That's cool.
And then come back to it, that sort of thing.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's like the theoretical one fan that we have that watches all of the Witcher hard plays. Like he might not want to watch Doom hard plays because he might not like that game, or he might not like The Witcher but he likes Doom. So that's there because it's like, well, this is fun to do, and I know that not that many people are going to bother watching it, but I can be bothered putting it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just something extra if somebody wants that. Because I've been on YouTube sometimes and be like, I don't know what to watch. And I'll just put on this hour-long video and not pay attention to it the whole time. I'll listen to most of it and not really watch it because I'll be playing something or I'll be listening to a podcast and only be watching the video of it.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
So that's what it's there for. It's like a pick and mix. It's like, if you will, pick and mix of the internet. You guys been watching many movies?
I've watched
or
a few
TV shows
recently. Well, with Netflix being up, I've watched a handful of stuff. I finally got around to watching Captain America 2.
Yeah, that's
The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, which was really good.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't see the first Captain America movie, but I think when the first phase of Marvel movies were coming out, I wasn't that into comics.
Yeah.
So I watched Iron Man and was like, yeah, fuck it, all right. But then Avengers came out and I was like, this is awesome. And then I've been reading more comics and stuff since then. So I've seen all the second phase stuff and I'm going to see Avengers 2 tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. But yeah, Captain America 2 was really cool. Small Soldiers I watched for the first time in years and that movie is fucking awesome.
That's the one.
Still
with
solid.
The
Still
toys,
so good,
the
yeah. And I didn't realize until the opening credits started. It's directed by Joe Dante, the guy who did Gremlins and Gremlins 2.
Really?
He is a master.
That
at,
makes so much sense.
just making just movies that are set in mundane suburban settings and flipping them on their heads and just taking just boring settings and making them insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
And
I bought that on DVD.
It's
this year.
It holds up so well,
It's
and
fucking fun.
it's cool. The the Gremlins in Gremlins 1 and 2, especially the second one, still hold up today, because they're puppets and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the soldiers in Small Soldiers, they hold up, but they do use CGI.
You can really notice when
and you
they're
can
using
notice,
CGI.
but because they're dolls and they're supposed to be moving kind of jerkily,
Yeah, that's right.
it still holds up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's really, really.
I
good.
remember
when they use the CGI, because it's not normally CGI in that, is it? It's puppets.
It's
and models
mostly
and stuff.
Just
they try to
models and
use
puppets and stuff.
creatures and stuff.
So when they do, you're like, oh, I know, but it feels so much more justified and it works.
Exactly,
In
yeah,
that
yeah.
way, Cameron CGI works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I always bring up.
Just whenever. It doesn't even need to be relevant.
Doesn't
Just
even
bring
be
up,
relevant. You just go
the
the
way
abyss.
James Cameron uses CGI.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
Drop the mic.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. The dude who did who created the Gorgonites and the what are they called, the something elite,
Yeah.
the
can't
soldiers and Small Soldiers did a lot of the Terminator effects.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I think it was
company.
Stan Winston.
Yeah.
Commando
He is
Elite?
the mum.
Commando Elite. That's
yeah,
it.
that's the one. Yeah, I feel like they were when you see them and they are a practical effect, they might have actually had animatronics to move their arms. instead of being
I think they
puppets.
did for the most part.
pretty awesome.
Especially I've forgotten his name. The Archer.
Yeah, the main one.
The main one.
Yeah.
He's an animatronic little doll thing for most of the movie.
Yeah, and that was pretty.
He's
fucking
only
awesome.
you can tell when it's CGI, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, I remember when that movie came out, and a friend of mine had the toys of it, and that was pretty fucking cool because they looked so spot on.
Yeah.
They were pretty shit because they couldn't do.
They
the stuff.
weren't those things?
Yeah, it's they weren't AI, so this
They
is
didn't have
stupid.
military grade processes in them.
Fun. Again, I remembered so little about that movie other than I liked it as a kid that it was kind of like watching it for the first time again.
It's fun.
I
when
didn't
you do
realize that Phil Hartman is in it, the voice of Troy McClure and stuff.
That's right.
And Lionel Hutz. He's in it as the neighbor. David Cross is in it as one of the scientist dudes. And it's so weird seeing him without the mustache he has in Arrested Development. He looks so young. And but he's still funny. And yeah, it was just really cool. Very funny.
It's a good movie. I like to go back and watch kids movies.
Yeah,
that you watched and
yeah.
you don't really remember it that well.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I watched Good Burger. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I watched that.
Oh my god, just a dodgy Nickelodeon movie.
It is
with
really
Keenan and
dodgy.
Kel.
I couldn't super get into it.
I watched it again recently. I watched the
'Cause
whole
I
thing.
only watched it a couple of years ago for the first
Yeah,
time.
I watched it. I watched it as a kid and I loved it, and then I watched it for the first time again in a couple of weeks ago, and it's ridiculous, but a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's some gags in there that genuinely made me laugh,
Yeah.
and I watched The Punisher,
Oh yeah.
the 2004 Punisher movie. Dodgy as hell. It doesn't feel like a Marvel superhero movie. It feels like you're watching a straight to VHS Van Damme or Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
Or Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
I was going to say, you've got Netflix. Have you been watching Daredevil?
I watched the first episode and I really enjoyed it.
I've been really liking Daredevil.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
nearly
gonna keep
done with
watching
it. And I think it was the showrunner or one of the guys involved with Daredevil said he wants to do hard R-rated Punisher TV show.
That'd be cool.
And I'm like,
That would be incredible.
the way they've done Daredevil in the TV series is so good that they could pull the Punisher off in that same way, and it would work so well.
I don't know if you me and my podcast. We recorded an episode last night, and I talked a lot about the Punisher on there because it was just fucking ridiculous. So I won't go into it too much on here, but basically, he's not the Punisher for the first 90 minutes of the movie. He's the angsty prankster. He's just kind of fucking with chubby John Travolta's character for the whole movie, and John Travolta's the most gullible man alive, and it's just terrible.
I don't remember it being crash hot when I watched it.
It's almost charmingly lame, but it is very, very lame.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Have you watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix?
No, Ethan and Chris were talking about that.
Pretty
really
fucking funny.
funny.
It's good.
You've been watching it now?
Tina-
Al?
Tina-
Yeah, I
Fey,
finished,
right?
finished watching it.
Oh, did Tina
It's so
Fey
good.
involved
Yeah, she
in that?
created it.
That's cool.
Well,
I'll check
she
that out.
wrote
Then I'll
most of
watch
it and stuff, and she shows up in the last couple of episodes, and her part is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
really
I really
funny.
dig her, so I'll check that out.
I love John Hamm as well.
Yeah, John Hamm. He's fucking hilarious in that as well.
Yeah.
Netflix, just full stop. I had no idea how much Netflix original stuff there is.
Well, this
Yeah.
year,
Like until actually getting Netflix and being like,
Wow.
shit,
Yeah, right.
there's just all these Netflix
I was
shows.
telling Alistair the other day, this year they put out just so many, like every
Mm.
month there's just been a new season.
Yeah, and
So
it's
there
a
was-
whole season.
Yeah.
And
so,
Netflix are funding a new season of Arrested Development as well.
yeah.
Yeah, it's online, isn't it?
No, they're going to
No, like
do
another
a
one, the
sixth
fifth season.
Or was it fourth?
I think it's
that they
fifth.
did. Fourth, fifth, and so now will be fifth. Yeah, cool. Yeah, they did. As long as I'm not forgetting any, this year they've done season of House of Cards, then a season of Kimmy Schmidt, season of Bloodlines, which I haven't gotten around to watch yet, but I'm excited for that. Season of Daredevil, season of Orange Is the New Black is like out next month.
Yeah.
And I
Marco
definitely
Polo.
Marco Polo, yeah, that's another big one.
Oh, is it new this year? I haven't watched
That was
it yet.
earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it online.
that was like Feb or something.
I haven't finished watching that.
I haven't either. I've only watched the first episode.
Yeah.
I'll
Is it
get
good?
back into that
Is it
after.
good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Looks good.
I felt like Marco Polo, it didn't hook me in the first episode the same way that Kimmy Schmidt or Daredevil or House
BoJack
of Cards has.
Horseman.
Yeah, BoJack Horseman.
Is that good?
That is
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Really?
Man. Watch that. Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh, I'll scope it out.
It's
The-
awesome.
The trailers rubbed me up the wrong way for some reason. I was like,
Nah, watch
I
it.
feel like
do.
I feel like this show thinks it's funnier than it is.
They do some really funny, like it's this world where like all these animals are like anthropomorphic and they talk.
Yeah, and there's celebrities and shit.
Some of them are.
Some
But
of
it's
them
just
are.
like they're just spread out like all over the world. There's just animals and people just walking about, talking to each other, eating food and stuff.
I'll
and
check out. Yeah, I'll check out an episode of that. I
you
haven't
kind of
given it a chance.
forget the fact that they're animals, and every couple of episodes they make a really funny joke, like calling back to the way that they're animals, and they act like all animalistic, and it's fucking hilarious.
That's cool.
Because
Yeah, I really
they
like
are all like the animal that their head is.
Yes.
But they're otherwise not.
it. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's good.
I'll scope that
Did
out.
you guys see that Star Wars trailer? That episode, second Star
that-
Wars trailer?
that- that Star Wars
Ethan,
trailer.
Ethan
Oh
has
my
completely
God.
like I'm kind of like, yeah, sick. That's a cool trailer. Like I'm on board. Like I was already, but yeah, now you got me. I'm excited. But Ethan has completely committed himself to that. He's like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be just the greatest thing ever, or I'm gonna walk into traffic. Like,
I'm super committed with
That's
it.
probably not a good thing.
I was pretty sold on it when JJ Abrams was like, yeah, we're gonna, do practical effects. We're bringing it back to like more original trilogy timeline, and we're gonna like do a sequel the way you should do a sequel, not the way that George Lucas decided to do sequels / prequels. But then that trailer is totally the first teasers totally sold me. Like both teasers, like every single shot in those trailers is like amazing.
money shot.
And
looks
looks like it
incredible.
could be from the original trilogy if it was done there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That oh my god, that first shot of like
Going
Going
through the
on.
desert, and you're
Yeah.
like, this looks like they've
Yeah.
done it with models
Yeah.
and a matte painting or
yeah.
something.
And then
there's
the
a
Star
Star
Destroyer,
Destroyer
and you're
that's
just like,
crashed
yo! Yeah,
That's
it's
really
awesome.
cool.
And like I was seeing like promotional like posters of like the three main characters. It's so cool seeing like a fairly diverse like
Yeah.
set of
I think
heroes.
that's like one of the main things that they've tried to focus on is that like it feels like more later on, like now Star Wars has copped shit for being like, oh yeah, there's like one woman in that whole movie.
yeah,
There's,
and,
like,
and
one
it is
black dude
kind
in
of
that
and
whole
it is
movie.
kind of like that's a bit weird. Like
Yeah.
it's nice to see if only to know that like there's like there are going to be like little girls and like little like fucking not white kids seeing
was waiting
like
for
seeing
what you were
the
gonna say.
characters on screen going, wow, that could be me, like
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was funny though because I read this article about I can't remember where it was on, what website it was on, but it was this woman talking about that she loved the fact that in the trailer Leia has like finally held a lightsaber.
Mhm.
That's like what people believe to be Leia is like holding the
Yeah.
lightsaber in that shot.
Because he totally says my sister, and then there's
Yeah, and then we see
Yeah.
a shot of that, so it's like, oh, it
Yeah.
makes sense that it would be Leia.
Mm.
And she goes on and on about how like she always loved Star Wars, but she always like felt like it wasn't 100% for her because there was never like a female
Yeah.
hero because Leia never really did that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool and everything, but I think you're fucking forgetting that the lightsaber that she's being handed is Anakin's lightsaber, which Luke lost when he got his hand cut off. And where the fuck has someone found it? Like,
Yeah.
that's more important. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So she's like, progress, and you're like
I'm
nerding
like,
out.
no, this is more important than that. Like, she could be holding any fucking
The
lightsaber.
Star Wars lore is more important than your representation, you silly woman.
Femininity is out of place and out of time in Star Wars when this is happening.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I said. And I sounded exactly like you too when I read that article.
No, you sounded like Moss from IT Crowd.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
But
I'm
yeah,
not
like-
usually I'm not like a fucking social justice warrior type, but like, I don't know, representation is cool.
It is
nice.
cool.
It
Nice.
makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.
It's like you wouldn't be upset and up in arms if it wasn't there, but the fact that it is
No.
there, you're like, no, that's
Exactly.
good.
And the
Well,
fact that you
it's
can
nice
see
to
that,
see.
like, other people who are like the people of different races or genders, they would have a problem with it if it wasn't there because then they're not
Exactly,
getting
yeah,
represented.
yeah.
So it's like, it's cool. It's like, it doesn't matter to you. It wouldn't have made a big difference.
No,
but
exactly.
cool.
That's the benefits of
Although-
being an entitled
Exactly.
middle-class white person, right?
Yeah,
White
crazy
male.
entitled.
straight white male motherfucker represent.
Just back to Louis C.K. for a second.
Yeah.
One of his bits is if you were born a white male, you've won.
yeah. They'd only say if that's something I had to like renew every year, he'd be like, yeah, I'll be white again.
You don't think
Yeah.
you'd do a couple of years of just seeing what it's
Yeah.
like to be something else? No.
Although no, yeah, like I agree with what you're saying about how it like makes you warm and fuzzy and you like it. Like I've been watching some stuff recently and I fucking love it when it's like, oh, this is like a well-written female character
Yeah.
that isn't just tough because they're like making her tough like a dude. Like
Yep.
she's actually being represented well.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I talked to this guy on my left, David, over here, one of our hard plays about, I went back and watched all the Hannibal films and Silence of the Lambs is fucking awesome. And Jodie Foster in that is fucking awesome. That's probably like one of the best.
And she is a tough bitch.
Yeah, she's a really fucking
That's
tough
why
bitch.
I fucking love Alien and Aliens
Yeah.
and stuff. Because
But I
Sigourney Weaver is
think
amazing.
what's her name? I forgot her name.
Jo-
Clarice. I think
Jodie
Clarice is like
Clarice.
like a stronger and more
Clarice.
interesting character than Ripley. Like I love Ripley as well. Like I've loved those Alien movies since I was really
but
little.
Clarice is way more... She's a strong female character,
Yeah.
whereas Ripley is like, you could probably have got a guy to do that role.
Well, that was the thing. Like in the first for the script, it was just like none of the genders were decided. It was just like, oh, 2 of the crew can be female, and then they made the decision to make Ripley a female. Originally, Ripley was probably going to be a dude.
Yeah.
and then
I feel like in the
they
second
really,
one, it had to be a
is.
chick. Cause,
Yeah, totally. But
she's-
like it could have gone like in a different universe.
Yeah.
It could have gone where like Ellen Ripley was just
Yeah.
a dude.
That's
Alan
why
Ripley.
I watched
Alan.
recently. I went and saw, and I might be on my own here, but went and saw the Kingsman.
Yes.
No, yes.
I really didn't like that movie.
Really?
I thought the action and stuff was cool, but like I think I was in the wrong state of mind. I was kind of grumpy when I went into it, and seeing like another like young, like good looking straight white dude, spoilers, save the world, and then get to fuck a girl in the ass, just seemed really crass and rubbed me up really the wrong way. I was sitting there, I was just like, oh fuck you, like
Yeah.
And the fact that he, like, again, this is kind of spoilers, so you might want to like cut this out or whatever. But I'm just going to say this: like him kind of coming in at the end wearing a suit, and he's basically become the new
Galahad.
Galahad. Kind of pissed me off. I was like, I would have been like, fuck yeah, if he'd come in a bulletproof hoodie and like just shot the shit out of all of them instead of being all like smug and, well, I'm all privileged and shit. Nah, motherfucker. Shoes on the other foot. Nah, chaps. I was just like, oh, fuck you. Like, I don't care about you.
I kind of liked it.
I liked it, but you know what? Some of the action sequences were bitch, and like that church sequence, I was completely
that was
on board.
incredible.
That was such a cool way to like do that, to like have, because like no, I don't think I like, it's hard not to hate like religious fundamentalists on some level. Like it's hard not to be like, oh, get off your fucking high horse. And so when this lady's like yelling at him, going like, you're gonna burn in hell and you're a fucking fag lover and all that shit, and he just turns around and shoots her in the face and then murders everyone in the church. You're just like, yes. Like it was very satisfying.
Yeah, and then like story wise, it makes sense that
Yeah.
he wasn't just being like a crazy asshole by murdering everyone.
Exactly. Like real quick, like they had a cool like female character in it, but she didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
Like I don't know.
she took out that
She took
satellite.
out the satellite, but like there was no like arc.
You
or
know,
anything.
what's that?
There was no arc or anything. There was
Yeah.
no like.
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know.
I thought she was.
She didn't need
was
one. She was
awesome.
an accomplished woman.
I did like that. She was pretty awesome the whole way
She's
through.
strong,
Yeah,
independent woman
I
that
guess
don't
I
need
was
no
hoping to
arc.
see more of
Need
it.
no arc.
Don't need no arc. one of the Netflix original shows that I'm pretty sure isn't actually a Netflix original, but I think they've just like exclusively licensed it to Netflix for the States, is The Fall, because it's like a British show. And that fucking show is amazing. And the female character in that is so interesting because it's like, it's the bloke from 50 Shades of Grey, and he's like this serial killer. And he's like murdering this certain type of woman that's like a single business, like professional woman that's like really well, like she's got all her shit put together and stuff like that. And it's sort of like he's murdering them because of like gender problems that he has, and he's like taking out on these ladies.
Girls don't talk to me, so I'm going to murder them.
That's the show in a nutshell. But then the cops bring in this lady from London to like lead the investigation, and she sort of is that same like archetype of like she's single, she's professional, she has casual sex and stuff like that, but she's like an awesome empowered woman. So it's really interesting to see like this guy targeting these women, stalking them, killing them, and then like the same kind of woman like chasing him.
That's cool.
And yeah, and I really fucking like that. I dug that. And that was like sort of like some of those, like we were talking about with Clarice versus Ripley. Like I don't think Ripley has sort of the opportunity to really differentiate herself between like a male action hero for most of it, because she's not really put in the circumstance to show that, where Silence of the Lambs, like it focuses on that, because again it's the same sort of thing. Like Clarice is the same, she has the same MO as all of the women that are being murdered, pretty much. So it's got that very similar thing to The Fall. So I like started watching The Fall right off the back of Silence of the Lambs, and
you digging it?
And I was really fucking digging it.
That's cool.
Well,
I'll
I watched
check that out.
2 seasons, and I think it's still going, so there'll be another one next year, hopefully.
Yeah, right on.
And that concludes our Netflix paid sponsorship
Real
for this episode.
Real quick, I just want to say, like, with the whole like representation thing, it's I'm not at all with Kingsman specifically. I'm not at all against like having like handsome white dudes fighting bad dudes and saving the world and getting butt sex as a reward. Sure, that's great.
It's something to aspire to.
Yeah, exactly. But I was in the wrong state of mind, and I was in a state of mind where I was like, I've seen this so many times. Like, I feel it felt or it didn't feel like this specifically with this movie, but I feel like sometimes movie studios or whatever are scared to put like a brown guy or a woman in the leading role, like of those kind of movies.
Yeah, it is.
Because they think that
it's magnified in video games as well.
Yeah, they think that Johnny, Johnny,
sort of
normal dude, won't want to, straight white male guy won't want to see the movie and won't.
Well, they
pay
need to
see
be like,
the movie.
he needs to like he needs to be a bit of an everyman.
It annoys me.
What's more of an everyman than a white male?
Yeah, than the majority. Yeah, but it annoys me that it kind of it's that same thing of like the R18 rating for games. It's like, do you think so little of me that you think I'm not?
Yeah, that's right.
Going to see a fucking brown person or a chick leading the movie, and I'm going to go, ew, no thank you, I'm going to go watch James Bond or something.
Sad thing is there's plenty of dudes that are like that.
That's so annoying.
They're like, what, a woman in a video, unsubscribe.
Yeah. Show some tits, love.
I'll tell you what, the state of mind I went into Kingsman was, why mine was good was because I had just podcasted with you and you told me about Every Frame of Painting. And I watched them all, and I watched the Jackie Chan one at what you told me about, and then I watched Kingsman, and I was like, fucking, this is why all the action's good, because it's got all of those principles that they talk about in the Jackie Chan one.
Yeah, I was thinking of those principles watching Captain America 2 the other day, and that works a lot of those stuff. And Daredevil does as well. They keep so many of the fight scenes just wide.
Yeah, fucking the fight scenes in Daredevil are fucking insane.
Anyway, that's the end of my spiel.
That's probably, we should wrap it up.
Cool.
Thanks for listening, whoever did. If you're out there.
Me. I'll listen to it.
I'll listen to it while
Get off on
editing
the sound of my own voice.
Does that count as a view?
What?
Nah, me editing it doesn't count as a view, and I can't be bothered like watching it again on YouTube once I've uploaded it.
I'll chuck it on while I do other stuff.
It's always fun.
Yeah. Muted. Yeah, best way.
Love to chuck a podcast on and
I'll
mute
download it and make my own edit where it's just me talking. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm so smart and liberal.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Check out our YouTube channel, which is probably how you've heard this because it's not up on SoundCloud yet. But check out our other videos. Like, send us some comments, give us some feedback. You can send the tweets to the MetaGames Twitter. That's at MetaGames AU.
I'm going to follow that.
It's pretty much the same as the Facebook group,
That's
where
right.
it's just like posting the videos that are updated until people actually start tweeting. So yeah, that's at MetaGames AU, and then the Facebook page is facebook.com/MetaGames AU. And then you can find the channel on YouTube. That's just MetaGames, which makes it really hard to find because there's like 20 other channels called MetaGames.
Yeah, I managed.
And they're all like Russian Dota playing or like Yu-Gi-Oh card deck videos and stuff.
It's like the METAgames.
And but yeah, we're going like we've already like kicked the seat of like 12 other channels called MetaGames that have like one video from like a year ago.
2 subscribers.
So like soon we'll be on like the first page when you search MetaGames, and it'll actually be like able to find it on YouTube.
That's what we aspire to, just being found.
Just being
By
found.
searching for the name.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not much to ask.
Yeah, so like any of you guys want to check out things?
I'll plug some shit.
You can plug some stuff. You've got
Yeah.
stuff to plug, don't
If
you?
you go on the YouTubes, you search Harvey's Opera. There's a sketch channel. That's me, my friend Ethan, my friend Chris, and my friend Zach, who make cool sketches. And if you like the sound of my voice, which no doubt you do, because I've got dulcet tones, you can go on SoundCloud and search Time to Kill podcasts. Me, Ethan, and my friend Guy, who doesn't wear a shirt. We do a podcast, and Michael's been on there, 3 or 4 times at this point?
Yeah, 3, 4. I'm a regular guest.
Yeah. We do that pretty much every week, so if you want to listen to us talk a bunch of shit, do that.
Cool. Good night.
Sweet Prince.
Laters.